welcome to Smile Face Up Movie Review. I'm Bill.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Scott.
And we're gonna dive right in.
Episode 4.
Yeah.
A little different than last ones.
Yeah. So, Oz, obviously, is upset about the kids all knowing this, which is information, which is predictable.
Not to mention, the kids are a little upset that there's
Yeah.
no plan.
Yep.
No
plan whatsoever.
Nothing. He's
My-
winging it.
And my favorite Crow moment has happened. Crow's already my favorite character, but this is, I think, one of the most defining moments in Crow's development as a character.
Oh my
Because he has based his entire life around following Oz, and he punches him in the face.
Yeah.
And is basically done.
He's betrayed.
He's
put all his faith into him.
And for him in particular, that is a big deal. And whew,
This whole thing's been quite a pill to swallow, and he's like,
yeah,
joking on it now.
yeah. And we learned that old lady Moana is actually been part of this the whole time, even though we haven't seen her. And
she did actually witness every single thing.
Because then she's like, I'm still getting over the fact that this is the second incarnation of humans. I don't know why she was that accent for me. Whatever. Anyway.
Hardy, hardy, hardy.
Hardy, hardy, hardy.
Hardy, hardy.
Hardy, hardy, hardy. I'm Wrinkled Donkey Face. Which is her official name, by the way.
Yeah, Wrinkled Donkey Face?
Wrinkled Goggle Face.
Goggle Face?
Yeah.
Donkey.
Leave the defenseless old woman alone. Because that's all she said every single. Why are you picking on a defenseless old woman?
She's not.
Not at
She
all.
is
She
not.
is so bullshit.
She was a huntswoman at some point, and that cane is gonna like explode with rays of lightning or something. I don't know. Her eyeballs really like shoot rays. Lightning-y. She sparkles. She's the Lord of Thunder. Sparkles.
Actual twist, Winter Maiden.
Yeah.
I can't rule it out.
No,
we haven't met one yet.
No.
I did think of something a little earlier, though. I found it funny that the Fall Maiden is Vale, where the Forest of Forever Fall is.
Yeah.
And, like, it just seems to be linked to these things. I'm sure the Summer Maiden's probably in,
Mistral?
No.
No. Vacuo.
It's the desert area.
Yeah.
And so going to Atlas, that's probably going to be
where we're going to meet the winter. And where were we on our way? Where she was there and on her way there? No.
Yep.
Because the Spring Maiden was in...
Yeah.
Near Mistral.
Yeah.
So it has worked out that each of the areas have had one of the maidens kind of centralized.
So that's been kind of nice.
Yeah.
I know you've noticed.
No, I did. I've been taking notes just so I know that everything. Unless you had something else to add, then
nope.
Okay. Somehow they got a airship. Mr. Parker, what are you doing?
Parker, you cannot be part of the video.
You know you want to.
I know.
Settle
down.
You want to be the news why? I understand.
You can be our mascot, but we have a smiley face mascot, so you have to wear a smiley face upside down.
Bandana with a smiley face on.
I mean, now I'm bored with this. It'd be great.
The news why? Okay.
Back on track.
So we had the airship.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was a Mistral's or something from the Haven Academy area. It's the same ones.
Which makes sense.
It's the ones that picked up Crow and all them and brought them to.
Yeah, and that's where everything just went down.
So it would make sense that either they bought it or
they
stole that.
Yeah.
And who's piloting it?
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. But I want to know the
answers. The Grim. It's a Grim.
It's a Grim pilot.
It's a Grim pilot.
Yes. Gremlins. Gremlins. Grim Gremlins.
Little imps.
Grim Gremlins. Imps. Make that.
Gremlins.
Gremlins. I like that.
Yeah.
Trademark that.
Yeah.
Trademarking.
Gremlins CM.
Yeah, let me trademark this thing that are trademarked by other...
No.
Gremlins.
Grim and Gremlin, but not Gremlins.
Yeah.
It's just a mashup.
It's basically a mashup.
There have been... there have been worse things that are
that's true.
trademarked. So, but they brought them all the way to the Dark Kingdom.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah, now Emerald and Mercury get to see all that.
Well, they were in there. They've been there before because they were in the throne room talking to Cinder before when she was still hurt.
Yeah.
They were tripping when they first saw the Grim, which was the first time we saw the Grim actually coming out of the pools of chaos there. Or
Yeah.
What do they call them? A pool of palm meat? No.
I don't remember what they called them. Comment below if you remember what they're called.
Yeah, please. I remember them, although I do remember other things.
Yes, you do. You do.
I remember they were called something. That should be.
Yeah.
Partly that, but Tyrion's still missing part of his tail. He's just got it capped. He hasn't had anything replaced on it yet, and he's still crazy as all get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I have to say, I think my favorite crazy, because I'm never usually super into the wow, I'm a laughing crazy person. Like, I usually like a more subtle crazy, and I thought the moment when he leaned in and cut himself on Emerald's blade, I was just like, oh, okay, that's
you are.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, no.
Of course, then he went right back into the laughing, but
Yeah.
like that, like quieter moment, and then when he's just like, but I am in mourning, like
Yeah.
that you have failed our.
Yeah, you failed our goddess. Yeah,
He is like the most. He's either hit or miss every time he's on the screen.
he's just manic. He is just.
and I think that's kind of what makes him a great low tier villain,
Well,
because you can't predict him.
yeah, well, I mean,
You can't.
you got to think the whole round table has had every single. I mean, Watts is sarcastic, and
Yep.
what's the
Hazel?
last word? Well, no, I was just thinking of but Hazel is quiet and calm.
Yep.
Which is also.
But
scary
Hazel also
sometimes.
seems to have like a moral code,
Oh, he does. He
Which
definitely
is-
does.
which
Nobody
is-
has to die to marry.
which I think is actually quite interesting. And
Lawful neutral. Lawful evil.
yeah, he definitely, and I think that is such a interesting decision to have him on the like Team Salem.
Tyrion's chaotic evil.
Oh, 100%.
And Watts is neutral evil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just throw that out there for that. Anyone
Yeah.
knows the hell I'm talking about, bravo.
Alignment.
I mean, you could definitely make
Like in a car.
RWBY alignment chart for like.
Oh, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they've got to be out there. I'm sure.
I'm sure.
It's probably all over the place. But
What would you put Ruby?
RWBY is neutral good.
You think neutral good?
Neutral
I mean,
good.
she's definitely good. I agree with that part. But
I think that she's neutral good because she is willing to like bend a rule to get something done, like, and be okay with it. Like, she's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll mail ourselves there, and we'll go behind the back and find all the bad guys before, without lawful good.
yeah. Okay.
Hero would be lawful good.
Yeah.
Hero would be
yeah.
lawful good.
Hero's a good.
Yeah.
Nora's,
Goody two shoes.
Nora's chaotic good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, now we have to finish the chart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going by my person. You got Yang, and then you got.
Yeah,
Well,
because
Crow is
chaotic neutral.
chaotic neutral, 100%.
Like borderlining into chaotic good.
Yeah.
Like,
he treads.
you
I think he
justify
goes
that.
back and
Yeah,
forth.
he walks the line.
Yeah.
And Yang.
And Yin Yang.
Well, because Yang would either be. Well, this is where I gotta like get out of like what I think about D&D nerds. I always hate when people make a character true neutral because I'm like, that's not a thing. Because Yang would honestly probably be chaotic good, but as well as an alignment. But if we're filling out one of those charts and stuff like that, and we want to make sure that she's on there, so all our characters are, I would just stick her in neutral for that.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that. I would say that the chaotic part works though, because she was very her freedom, and she wants to be
Yeah.
free, carefree, do what she wants, kind of
As
thing.
long
Which
as
also
your
could
stuff
gravitate
doesn't.
towards neutral though,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that way she could flow either which way she wants to flow.
Yeah.
So,
And if your stuff doesn't, mess up her stuff, and she doesn't care really what you do.
yeah,
So I mean, that kind of goes.
Osmond is messing with her stuff, and
Yep.
she is
Yeah.
not happy, and we have not seen happy Yang for a while.
Both Oz and Oscar are both lawful neutral. They just express it differently.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
And there we go. We have our chart.
Yep. Cool. Moving on.
Maria.
Huh?
Maria. You don't know enough about her yet.
Oh, she is above the chart.
She's got her own spectrum.
Yeah, she is.
Um,
Okay, maybe a chart adjacent.
me and you both asked this. We're thinking this question.
Yeah.
Why does Salem now have red veins? On
Yeah.
her? Has her power, her corruption increased over time?
Or has she been experimenting with other stuff? Because now so before she has magic, but she doesn't control the Grim.
Yeah.
But now she controls the Grimm,
Right.
and she has red veins through her. So maybe it could be nothing. It could be something.
It could just be a furthering corruption of the
exactly.
pool. Maybe she exposes herself more and more to the pool to become more.
And maybe that's how she got control over the Grimm.
And I guess this is just my memory of that because so she didn't have those.
No, she did not.
No, she was
just white and black.
Yeah, almost marble, just like pure.
Because particularly when in the last episode when we had the kids and everything, that was actually one of the observations I made. She didn't have creepy face.
Okay, but I mean in our present time.
Oh no, she's always had it. But I just want to know how has it been a
from
flashback time progression
to now?
Okay, so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
just more but all right. Yeah, because I thought she had always had it in our present.
Yeah, she's always looks like that. She's always had the gem in her head. She's always had,
and the gems in her hair and the dangles.
Clothing, though, that you can change, but it's kind of hard to put red veins in because you take them off, like embedded jewel in your forehead.
I wouldn't be completely surprised if the veins are something that essentially they when they were doing the flashback said, hey, we won't put them on there just to show the progression of time. I doubt we'll get a solid explanation for them.
I doubt it too. And it could be time. It could be, as you said, the corruption. It could be experiments as she tried to kill herself more.
Well, I mean, look what she grafted an arm onto Cinder.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it could be
how to manipulate Grimm material.
So many different things.
She could be trying to make herself stronger, so she...
Yeah. Because why not? You're immortal.
But both me and you said it at the exact same time when it popped up, so I wrote that one down. And don't screw with her.
Yeah, no,
because you're on. Because
the Grimm arms reaching up and pulling Hazel down like that.
Like he was terrified. He was.
Which also answers the question that I kind of commented on in the intro this time around too, when Ruby's fighting those hands coming out of like a doorway.
Yeah.
Which may not ever happen. It may just be like a metaphor scene thing they did for the opening.
They're coming for you. Kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's also okay, in my opinion. But now we know what they are.
Yeah.
The going back to the beginning of the episode though, I did like how intensely, particularly Yang, because she was the first one to bring doubt into the group about Oz's intentions.
Yeah.
Because of what her mother told her. I like how angry she was at him, and I also like with the character that we kind of got to know about Oz in the flashback episode, last episode. His reaction to all this was to be a coward and retreat.
Yes.
Yeah.
He retreated into Oscar's mind and shut himself.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had that. Oz retreated. Yeah.
And the other thing I find kind of interesting about that is the fact that Oz apparently retreating like that had a physical impact on Oscar, who, for the most part, has been like okay with the whole situation. Like he hasn't. At first, he had problems with it, and that over time he's slowly become more accustomed to it. But now that he's grown accustomed to it, the moment it's gone, it is physical pain, or at least
I think you misread that.
Or at least it was disconcerting. He seemed like he was in pain.
I think he
was in pain because Crow punched him against a tree.
Was that true?
That's not the kind of pain that was coming across.
But the pain that he came across when Oz retreated, and he was like our head, I can't deal with this, and it is a mental anguish.
Yeah,
like he is emotionally wrecked by this information.
They were starting to merge. That's a loss of part of your soul being torn away.
But that's my point. Like
so
that is
having part of
your
their souls are merged at this point. Their memories and bodies and things are merging at this point. Now that's gone, and he's just
which I think
but it's also not gone because Oscar could tell us that it was he's still in there, he's back there, but he just shut himself off.
He severed the link basically. Yeah, like they're still sharing the same body, but
I think that was driven further with the my body, our body, I don't know anymore kind of comment.
But that's why one of the reasons I land more on the mental thing because I don't think that any of the episodes shows a physical pain from that. I think that he is wrestling with the fact that he thought he had started to nail down what sort of person Ozpin was and was okay with it. And then this new information makes him feel violated. Like he makes him feel
I mostly agree with you, but I think it started as like just a mental breakdown, if you will. But I think it actually had like literally that is someone taking part of your being and locking it away. And he was in pain. Well, I think like a headache. Like a migraine or a headache.
I see. I didn't get that read at all.
More of a numbness.
It could be a numbness. But there definitely was some kind of physical symptom.
Limb kind of thing where you're missing that. You can still feel it there, but you can't.
And that has a physical effect. It may not be actually physical. It may not be like somebody.
I would
cut
never
it.
need to see the scene again do that.
Yeah.
I did not get a read like that at all. It felt all completely mental and emotional, and
I think
and
that's
honestly,
where it stems from.
It felt like obviously his line of it's like my head, our head.
Yeah.
Like that's him. He was getting used to coexisting with
Yeah.
Oz.
Yeah.
But I think that now he's just reacting to the fact that he was okay with this person, and now he's not, and they're in his head literally.
Yeah. I think it stems from what you're saying. I think that's where that is the core problem.
Yeah.
100%.
I just don't think there's actually any physical.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be an
effect on it.
interpretational thing until we
Yeah.
find out for real. Maybe it does cause a physical problem later on now because he's never done that.
I bet you
before
Blake
with his
knows.
other- What?
I bet you Blake knows.
How the hell would Blake know?
What was her favorite book? The Man with Two Souls. Actually, a book series.
Is that a series?
There was a series. There was two.
Huh?
There was two.
I don't know. I just remember she was reading by candlelight.
There might even have been three, but I know there was two.
But I mean, again, this is something we won't find out, and it's going to be more of an interpretational thing until we get a direct thing. So, but not bad.
Mhm.
Watts still don't know how useful he is, other than being a
I think he
smarmy bastard.
Yeah, I think he.
I mean, again, we
builds
know he's a
stuff.
scientist.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen him do anything other than condescend people and sit around a table and snicker.
I think he's how.
He still hasn't fixed his tail.
I think he's how Tyrion has that.
Well, the nub
on his tail right now.
Yeah, he probably has to make something. What is he making to put on? Is he going to be mechanical now? Because that was
going to be mechanical.
Just like Yang's arm.
Yeah,
she had that same kind of thing with like
an adapter,
like
almost.
a dot.
Yeah.
Pattern on there, so where
it's going to lock
like
into something.
It locks in, connects.
Yeah.
So we're probably seeing.
I bet he's from Atlas originally.
He is from Atlas.
Okay.
He's a disgraced Atlas
when did we learn that?
Somebody says it when it Raven, when they first go to her camp and she goes, and you were a disgraced Atlantean scientist.
I don't remember that part, but
well, she's clicking off like. And a girl with a girl with a name who sounds like she named herself a Cinderfall because she's the Fall Maiden. So she was like hitting each one of their
That's right
little things.
That was in the mix of season 4 stuff.
It was right when they were doing the introduction where they were saying they brought out Bernal as the Spring Maiden. Yeah. To do the whole wind thing and then nothing actually happened.
Season 5, whatever. Yeah. Again, 2 seasons that not much happened.
4 was separation. 5 they came back.
Some stuff happened, but not much.
That's the difference between the two. 4 nothing happens. 5 some stuff happens.
Yeah.
6 shit's getting done.
Yeah.
I mean, the episode ends with us being like, "Hey, let's leave right here. Let us go somewhere else."
Yes. Yeah. But they've gone off the track and they're continuing now.
Yes,
like we were wondering about next episodes. Like, please don't stay here for another episode. Not the whole episode. They started moving on. They were walking along the trail. They ended up at a place called Brunswick Farms, which for some reason that name is sticking in my craw. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a name we've heard before.
Well, it's a name that's going to be important because they did such a obvious shot for it.
But also, it reminds. I think I know why you and I both. I don't know if you did too. You didn't voice it when we were watching it, but I know you and I both were like, "What? There's something about the name," and Crow's and Raven's original, or like their clan, but it's reminiscent of the same kind of build. It's not the same, I know that, but it has a similar sound to it. Yeah, which I think might be.
It could be the Braun one. That could be what's.
That could be what we're connecting to.
It, I almost feel like I heard Oz saying it. Like it's probably not, but like from when they were doing the initial naming of the teams for RWBY, it's like when they were naming like. Could have been Winchester. Like I could have swore I heard a Brunswick in there, and I'm just wondering.
That's possible.
I don't know. I know it was like Skylark, almost, but again, it just that's where it's like I keep hearing that in my head for some reason. I'm probably wrong.
But it's possible. I mean, that it was season 1.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I don't remember.
Yeah.
So all my critiques of last episode still stand. I think that as an episode by itself, it just doesn't get across what it wants that well. But when you watch it in this context with this episode, you realize it's like, no, they wanted us to feel sorry for Salem and to be mad at Oz. That is the effect they were going for. And I think good on them for accomplishing that, but just still that episode in a vacuum doesn't make it feel like that's what they were trying to accomplish. It just feels like it's like, oh, you guys still thought that we would be on Oz's side with this, but we're not. But with this episode, that recontextualizes it and makes me actually more okay with last episode.
I think because we had discussed what's going to make or break last episode was how they handle it in this episode.
Yeah. We didn't know enough about Salem to feel anything about her, so that's why she's always been, she's the evil one. Now we know a little bit about her. It's going to make the story a little more in and out. But, like, even once he goes, and they're being led by Ozpin, and, like, she gets that moment of, like, you know, now we have to start all over again, and the whole pissed off window shattering again. Don't screw with Salem.
Yeah.
Leave, because you're going to get hurt.
But the moment where she stops her, like, seething rage to, like, try and take that deep breath and pull it back, was very humanizing.
Yes. And I like that, because before, all we've seen is her just being the, you know, high-end person who just gives up the orders and everybody follows her because we know that they're terrified of her. But we didn't know anything about her. Now we do, so it brings a whole new dynamic. Now, if I go back and watch probably some of those other episodes, there may be some other inflections I never picked up on before. So it'll be interesting to go back and see some of those. Just because I tend to rewatch it a lot. I want to see it.
They do. This one was this one was the shortest episode we've had this season so far.
Yeah.
But
the last episode was longer though.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it was you know, a play off of that because it was so much discussed during that one.
I feel like the episodes might have been. Well, the reason they did the end where they wanted is they wanted to end last episode on the how can I defeat Salem and you can't.
Yeah.
That's how they were like, we want that punch. But as individual episodes holding up, which again, they're not really making for that. They're making for the like final DVD experience where you're just watching it all at once.
Yeah,
that's how they're constructing.
Yeah, I think what they did was they built all of this, and then now they're.
Though I do still think because you do see certain breaks in certain episodes, I do still think they're building in commercial breaks for the eventual Japanese dub.
What I bet they do is they have like 4 sections basically of the season, and they cut up the sections into the episodes, but they have the few points where you're like, hey, that's where these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Just because I think these last 2 episodes, this one and last one, would have worked better as individual, either putting them all together as an extra long episode, or taking the last episode, ending it at an earlier point.
Yes.
Finishing it, and then going right into this episode as a single episode.
Yeah. Yeah, some of their sequencing for this could have been done different, and I think it would have made it stronger.
Like honestly, if you kind of did like the end point in Oz coming back to life for real, in the previous episode,
when Oz first gets brought back by the god of light, like the brother of light, if that would have been a great spot,
the incarnation,
that or when they first meet back up, either one of those 2 points.
I would probably do that one. I would probably do like when it's like hearing about the witch and
splitting up if they had mashed them together and split the episodes like that, I think it would have made a stronger point where you're saying, because if they cut it when he first awakens, it actually brings attention to, okay, how did life get recreated, which as S commented on the last video, that was cut apparently according to him, or he believes it to be. And hopefully will be used at a later time. Whereas if it had been mashed together and then cut when they reunite, it doesn't draw attention to that, and we don't have that dwelling question. I don't
tend to visit the Rooster Teeth site until after the season's over. I don't want potential spoilers for the season. So,
I think something that you want your audience to know, and again, I don't think this is actually one. Like knowing how the humans repopulated isn't important to the story.
No, we know
so
it
there's an example of that. Because if it's information that's important and they don't put it in the show and they put it in extra stuff, that's just bad writing. But I mean, they're not doing that right now, so that's fine.
This is all just fun. What if? At this point. But my point is, I agree with where if they had done that, where you said to cut it, where they reunite at the house and they like a happily ever after, but we don't know what really happened.
And then the next episode begins with them talking at the table and being like
their rise to power of we're going to be the ones that rule over everything to make sure that the people are
their rise
the right
and
way.
fall as a couple and leaders and everything. I think would have also been a great
because that segment actually isn't that long. That segment's only about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So from there to add that onto the one for today where it was only 10, that would have been a 15-minute episode, which is about what they normally are. Because the other one I think was well over 20 minutes because
it was like close to like with the end bumpers and stuff and all that stuff on the website and credits and everything. It was close to half an hour.
Yeah, because I went to go watch it again on my lunch break today just for prep for tonight, and I in the time it took me to find one and go through everything, I my timer had gone off, so I was surprised. I still had another couple minutes after that episode. After that went off. So it was a longer episode. So like you're right, I think the cut would have been better. I know they tried to keep it together because it was part of the same story, and then the next part is the reaction of the people who saw it. But I think it could have been done either way.
Again, I think so far with the season, examining it as the overarching arc, which is the dumbest sentence. as a full arc that is supposed to be consumed in a sitting. They're doing a very good job. Yes. I just think some of their choices for episode breaks so far, and some of the places that they've put certain scenes, as we talked about for the especially the second episode, just is a bit more shaky. But I'm sure it'll hold together better when you're sitting and watching it how it's supposed to.
Yeah, hell, even watching them back to back, but all this time in between is where the problem is. Even if we were just binging it,
but that time in between gives us time to think about it, each individual things, and makes us want more of the story and delve further into could it be this many possibilities, and then when one of those does actually come true, it's like, all right, good.
But as a sequence, though, just in that context, as a sequence, I think that would alleviate that problem a bit.
And in final thing here, I would say, since the first episode, we've been wondering if they were actually going to show Shade Academy, since they did mention it, which kind of when they do that kind of stuff, you kind of do. And since Neptune said, and they're going to get the team ready and everything. We now know the Sword of Destruction has been found at Shade Academy.
Which is, so that answers that question.
We will see.
So now we knew that the Lantern was under Haven.
Yep.
Or at Haven.
We're figuring the crowns
and Atlas.
Yeah.
Because,
it just seems to fit better that way.
And the swords there, as we discovered.
The Sword of Destruction would be at Shade, so the Spear of Creation
would be the one at Beacon.
It would be at Beacon, so that's the one that...
Which I think also kind of makes sense, being how Oz got his thing from the God of Creation.
Yeah.
And the Spear of Creation is the one that plays well into it, and into the mythos there.
I did like that one line for the Darkness. Creation may be your... the realm you're most comfortable in, but you're not the only one who has access to it.
Yeah.
I was like that. That was one line. It's just, again, I rewatched it today. I was like one of those lines and stuff. Good line. And you're right. You still seem to be even after rewatching it.
Because he is.
Yeah.
It didn't change. But again, I think for this episode, we got the team reaction to what everybody saw.
I think
we didn't progress super far this episode, but it was all good. It was all important content to have.
Yeah. And I think they had the appropriate reaction. I think that all drove the correct character development in motion and had everything where it was supposed to be, or should have been, for a better story.
Yep.
I think they're holding. So far, they're still holding up.
The momentum's going to carry forward now, because now again we've started moving. We're not standing in the same place. We're not standing around talking about stuff. We're moving forward now in every spot.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be. I'm sure probably next episode we might see it'll probably split between. Plus we may see some more Cinder with.
I think we're gonna get Cinder in the next one.
Which also was pointed out to us that Malachite was the last name of the twins from Junior's Bar.
Yep.
And that the woman in purple was supposed to be representative of Little Miss Muffet, which makes sense with the spider because. Spider who came down and sat down beside her.
Thank you for that one.
So that was a nice little tie-in. Thank you again for letting us know about that one. And so I think we'll probably see a little bit of everybody again next episode. It'll be all three probably.
Knowing how they edit, that's probably
though I think if they will wanted to keep the flow going right, we would probably jump between just 2 story points.
It'll probably be RWBY, and then Cinder, and then maybe just a quick thing about what Emerald and Mercury and Hazel and them are all doing. Because again, now where are they going to go from here on? To this next one?
My prediction is
I don't think we'll see them yet.
It might be the ending thing, like the last thing you see.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think
what the next episode.
It's gonna be RWBY. And jumping between RWBY and Cinder for most of the episode, and then as we know what they're going to do next, we'll get a scene with the villains. What the other villains,
where they're going to show up,
and where they're going to show up next.
Because now Emeralds and Mercury are hopeful because Cinder's still alive.
All right, well, I'm going to give my theory because you guys gave theories. I think we're going to go with Cinder first.
I think it's going to start Cinder.
I think it's going to start Cinder. Then we're going to see RWBY and them, and then we'll get an end bit of Hazel and them.
Okay. I'm just wondering how far they'll go with Cinders. That's why I'm wondering if we see RWBY's team, how far they've gotten to, if Cinder's going to be leaving that episode to go on now.
Well, and the reason why I think that is it's been like a while now, technically, in real time.
Right, we know it's a month that since the attack on Haven, and then
but I mean, since
2 weeks since they left, so they have a 2-week lead on Cinder.
Yeah, but I mean, since we have seen Cinder as viewers, it's been
episodes.
two and a half, kind of, because she didn't end that episode, did she? Yeah, no, she
did in episode 2, so it's been 2 episodes.
So, but for this, where there's only 3 groups that we're following, really,
right?
That's a while.
Yeah,
and we focused so much on RWBY and them, and then this one did split it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The next episode, they're gonna bring it back around.
This is going to be just to see where everybody's going.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be mostly about.
Plus, they left Cinder on that kind of cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, they never really do a long, drawn-out thing with the villains because then you know everything that's going to happen.
No, you just with Cinder's, it's not always the case.
That's why we don't see a specific situation.
Exactly.
Right now, like her story is running like.
I'm talking about Salem's ultimate plan.
Salem. No,
they
we
never
will never
linger
see
on Salem thing for an entire episode because you know too much. So it's always going to be just a snippet here.
No, but Cinder.
You might see them as the group going out, but never at Salem's location for a long period of time. Too much stuff would be given away.
Yeah.
So it'll only be the individual groups.
Yeah.
Maybe what Watson's doing, what Tyrion's doing. And then what the other 3 are doing, because the other 3 seem to be like they're going to be together the entire time, for the most part. So, but they work well together, so that's probably why I'm going to deal with that. But no, I think that's a great place to leave off at.
Yeah, I agree. And so until next time, watch it first. If you want more Bill, you can find Bill.
True Facts on Facebook and True Facts _ TM on Instagram. To see some fun images I post there.
They're pretty great. You should check them
out. Scott's not on anything.
No. You can find him here on Smiley Face Up. And you can find me under 10 Rabid Bears on Twitch, the YouTubes, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Facebooks, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously here.
Yep.
And both Bill and I at Aqua Games. That looks like. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys next week. And in the meantime, keep that smiley face up.